Hi, welcome to Sunday School class, and I entitle this teaching, Wearing Your Own Armor. And in 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 39, and Saul clothed David with his apparel. And then in verse 39, David says, I am not able to go with thee, for I have not tested nor proved these. And he took his shepherd's staff and chose out 5 stones out of the brook to engage in Goliath. When pastors are raising people up, and if you're being discipled at a church, you really need to keep something in mind. We're all not alike and we're not all the same. 1 Corinthians 12, Paul talks about severally as he will, God the Holy Spirit gives out gifts. And the phrase is diversity of ministrations and of operations, but there's one Holy Spirit. So we each are given gifts and talents and skills. And like when David talked his way to go into to see Saul and say, I can take Goliath. I killed a bear, I killed a lion, and this Goliath will be as those. But Saul talked him into, well, go try this on, or go try that on. And, he says, no, these aren't tried, these aren't tested, I haven't used these, and so I'm going to use what God has given me. And so I just encourage everybody, if you're a young pastor and people are trying to shove things your way, to say, hey, do this, do that. We live in a society full of classes and schools and all kinds of non-credentialed educational programs. And they probably all have some benefit, but some may be for you and some may not be for you. And you have to pray and ask God to deal with you about what you should do where you're at. And if you're a young person and you've been fighting certain battles in your life, Christian, then you need to, and you attend a church, and what is the difference between good advice and useless meddling? You have to really determine that. Sometimes young people don't want to listen to old people, don't want to listen to pastors, but if you listen to good advice, it goes good. If you listen to bad advice, it goes bad. Life is pretty simple like that. And so as you learn to listen to the Holy Spirit and deal with you about what you should and shouldn't do. And like David, if he had ended up going into battle against Goliath with the weapons of Saul, he probably would have lost. But he won because he had using the weapons that God had given him. God had tried him in battles before, and even though this was the biggest battle, he had used these in smaller battles. And I would encourage you not to despise small battles, because that is where you get to learn your gear, your spiritual gear, and to engage the enemy. And once you lay down principles in your life, when something big comes along and you don't have time to deal with it, and you got to have it already in place. Because there'll be times in your life that you'll think, maybe not even think, oh, I got it all together, and something happens and you realize, man, I have no point of reference. There's nothing in the toolbox of my mind to help me in this situation. And that's why learning, reading, studying, praying, and beginning to build a toolbox, if you will, of ideas. When something rises, the Holy Spirit has something to work with in your head. Hey, this book would help that person. Or lead the person to this verse to help that person. Lord, I pray for everyone listening to this, Lord, for all of us, whether you're a pastor who's being nagged by people to change, whether you're a person being nagged by a pastor to change, I pray for each one of us individually that you would give us a revelation of what our armor is, what our strengths are, what our giftings are, and what areas we should be involved in. Signing off from here. Thank you very much.